Welcome back. I don't know if you listened to that last segment, but I tell you, when we think about Reiki and emotions and the process and the destination, Susan gave us a lot of nuggets. So if you're just now joining us, you may want to go back and listen to that first part of the segment because it was very enlightening. Susan, as we start to talk about emotions and mind and what we're doing, one of the other things that you really have a strong foundation in that I love for you to share with our audience is around how that power of art, can help for healing as we move forward. So I'd love to get your perspective on how that actually happens and how it helps our own healing process through the use of art.
And for me, I started applying art in my life because there were some deep traumas that I needed to work through. But in doing so, it also taught me how to incorporate meditation, drinking alkaline water. That helps elevate your frequency as well and cutting through a lot of the toxicities. Um, and for me, it was just staying in tuned with bringing in crystals as well. That also helps with the art of Reiki, along with the copper as well, to keep you grounded because it activates like Mother Earth. So this is my everyday practices, and I do my prayers as well. And it makes me align more with my higher self. And my goal is to become authentic with me. Who am I in this
Mm.
world that's ever evolving and changing? And how do I keep the true essence of who I am? Am I going to feed that ego, or am I going to feed the authentic me and still thrive? And it's not easy to do because it's very easy to get lost because the emotions. And sometimes I have to refrain. And in doing so, I go back into my practices as well. And it's just sometimes it's better to observe than to react. You learn a lot when you're observing because you're detaching and you just want to see things for what it clearly is.
I mean, this is, like I said, this is very fascinating to me, even when we talk about the power of art and what that can do for our emotions and what we're going through and help us to heal in different ways. And, people
Mhm.
use different kinds of art for different things as they move forward. What advice do you have for someone who feels that I can't express myself creatively? I'm just not a creative person. What do you tell them?
I say dip into it, get curious, and just let your imagination lead the way. And better yet, your inner child, I guess, is the best way to allow you to just be. Um, it knows, and that inner child doesn't go away. Um,
Mm.
the imagination, the creativity, just start somewhere, anywhere is better than not starting at all. Just be curious, just like you were as a child. Just don't have any expectations. Don't walk with the hopes that it's going to turn out with this imagery that you have in your mind, because now you just set yourself to fail. Um,
Mhm.
just go with the flow of it all and just let it be and let it just blossom like a lotus and see what takes place.
That sounds so simple, but when we talk about the how do I do that? Is it that I just meditate and think about when I was a child and what I did? Or,
I,
because it's
I,
so
I
interesting.
do. What was that feeling like when you had no responsibilities?
Okay.
When you had no responsibilities, what was it like to just get up and just go do whatever you wanted to do and not worry about any consequences to it?
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
It's just that something as simple as that, as curiosity. And
Okay.
then you just take it from there. And then as you put it out into the universe as to what you want, it's going to respond to you and it will show up on your path. And it just intertwines that law of attraction, just in and out, weaving in and out. Take the expectation out of the equation, detach from an outcome, and just be carefree like a child. If you forgot what that's like, then go observe children when they're laughing and just being in their element. Sometimes I always tell people to just go by the beach, watch the waves, how they dance, and just flow with it. It's going to teach you how to flow. It all comes together at the end, but sometimes you'll see some high waves on one end of the shore or the other, and then somehow it just rolls right in and it knows when to stop. Something as simple as that. I think we overthink too much, that it's got to be this grandiose kind of thing. And it's the simple stuff. It's simplicity. We need to get back to the simplicity of things.
Well, Susan, like I know as I used to think about being creative, it was like I am a very left brain person, a strategy person. I am all about facts and figures because I always had to prove something, right? And to validate
Mhm.
something. So it was like it had to be there. And I used to say, boy, when God gave creativity away, he left me out the mix. And what I have learned as you're talking about is that creativity is there. I just didn't get a chance to use it. So I thought I never had it. Now that I'm in my own business and doing my own thing, I'm more creative and doing thinking outside of the box of the art of the possible and what that can look like.
So that's about tapping into your sacral chakra, which is all about creativity. And that is allowing you to have that relationship with creativity in whatever it is that you're doing. It's thinking outside the box. It's doing things differently than what you did before. And that's what's changing and evolving, is how you're approaching things differently that you normally wouldn't do. So that's calling you to
Hmm.
step out of a comfort zone that you're so
Hmm.
used to,
Hmm.
because it comes to you so naturally that you're on autopilot. So it's like,
Hmm.
how do you put the brakes, and how you put it is just changing one simple thing every single time. And before you know it, you're automatically changing the brain, the crown chakra, to open up and be more open to the messages of, oh, maybe I can do it this way, or
Hmm.
what would happen if I did it that way?
Hmm. Well, Susan, you also talked a lot about, copper and stones and things
Hmm.
like that. And I've always been curious to understand which one is for what. So, when do you use this stone to get this feeling and this stone that's going to help you to do this? How do you how do you get this information so that you can utilize it to help yourself as you're trying to bring on this change in yourself? And I love how you said this, be authentic to me and
Yes.
and
And
what that looks like. Can you
so,
help and guide us a little bit in that area?
so believe it or not, everyone's discernment is not broken. It's just not awoke. you know,
Okay, wait a minute, wait a minute. Say that again.
I said everyone's discernment is not broken. It just needs to be awakened. You need to trust it. You need to trust it. When you walk into a holistic store, you
Mhm,
are surrounded by so much crystals, and you sometimes can get overwhelmed. But
mhm,
as you walk through it, your body is going to feel a connection with those stones. Something as simple as a turquoise stone is for your throat chakra. Um, your root chakra, it's usually like, it could be a jasper,
mhm.
but definitely when you do walk into a holistic place, those crystals are going to speak to you.
This is fascinating. This is just fascinating because I go in, I'd have opportunities where I would go into holistic places because I do a lot of holistic foods and things like that,
Mhm.
and treatments. And so, yes, the stones are all around, but it's more of, I used to always think it was because the color drew me in. I'm attracted to this one, or I'm attracted to that one. And what you say, what I understand from what you're saying, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but what I understand that you're saying is my body is attracted to that, not the
Mhm.
color, not what it looks like, not what it feels like when I pick it up, that it's smooth or it's
The body's connecting with it. It's having an energy connection with it. It's going to know. And for you, in the physical world, ooh, wow, look at that shiny color. Look at that,
uh-huh.
but
Yep.
the body's already attracting what it is that it needs. And then you go and you look it up, what the stone means. And then right there and then it's going to tell you why you were so attracted to it.
And
Yeah.
where's the best place to go and get that meaning of a stone? Because there's a lot of things out on the internet. You get multiple stories, etc. Where's the best way to say, okay, a jasper is for this and turquoise is for this?
What I like to do is literally physically walk into a holistic store, and I like to go to holistic stores that actually will order their stones in the raw. The better in the raw, the stronger it is.
Okay.
For me, I
Hmm.
don't really like, a lot of the stuff is man-made and you got to be cautious with it. But
Hmm.
yeah, if you just go and walk into holistic stores, they will tell you where they purchased it all from.
Susan, I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. I want to thank you for coming
Thank
on to
you.
Ignite and igniting our fire. It has been a joy to have you.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it, and I have learned so much. So this is going. I am so excited you all came to join us for Ignite tonight today. And just remember, this is where the light of the fire keeps on burning. Join us next time for the light burning with another guest on the show. Look forward to seeing you then.
This has been a Now Media Networks feature presentation. All rights reserved.